It's not popcorn.
That was weird.
Maple syrup. I have to cool that down a little bit so it doesn't overflow while I'm talking.
Oh, now I know what it is. Something just fell in my head.
Yes. That's right.
Where's your hat?
I can make it rain in here.
And now it's just the hat.
On a really cold day, I can make it sizzling.
It's maple syrup on my head.
Well, now, who saw all the buckets out there? Did you see them hanging on the
Oh,
trees?
yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's where it all begins.
Everybody saw.
And you know what? I make kids do all the work. I do. I have all the 6th graders from C.A. Frost and from the Blandford School. They collect all that sap and they bring it to me. And it comes into this great big tank out back here. Did you see that? Did you see all the sap in there? Pretty full, isn't it? Well, that sap comes in through these pipes here, and I have a nifty little float valve here. So as the level in here goes down, more sap comes in automatically. Now right here, this is the fresh stuff that just came in, and it looks kind of like water, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know why it looks like water?
Because
It is water.
Yeah, it looks like water.
It's mostly water, yeah. Yep. Well, I actually have an opening down here and here and here, so that fresh sap is going to push the more cooked sap through this little maze here. Okay?
A maze?
Yep, it runs through those little channels there. And as it does, it gets a little bit darker. Can you see that? It's getting a little darker here. And then over here towards the end, it gets even darker.
Really?
And then this is my finish section, and sometimes I have to spoon some into there.
I want to go in there.
Yeah, but this is where it's really dark.
No,
Right
not
there.
that.
That's getting close to being syrup.
On
We're
the
probably
floor.
about an hour away.
What's this?
Now the color there, who here has roasted a marshmallow? Raise your hand. Yeah, have you done that? Well, right before
I did it when I wasn't very
yeah, right before it bursts into flames, it turns this brown color, doesn't it?
I did it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
did
that's
it.
because we're caramelizing the sugars, just like you do when you roast a marshmallow. Anytime you cook sugars, it's going to turn that golden brown. Believe it or not, even bread has sugar in it, and that's what happens when you toast your bread. It's a little bit darker. They actually came up with a grading system for maple syrup based on the color.
How come you push
You can see
me
here on the
down?
left, they call that a grade A, or a fancy grade. And it gets darker as it goes along. Well, the only difference in the syrup from bottle 1 to the end here is the length of time that it's on the pan itself. It just cooks longer and caramelizes the sugars longer. The sugar content has a lot to do with that. Generally, in the beginning of your season, you're going to have a higher sugar content than you will at the end of the season. And so the longer, the higher the sugar content, the less cooking you're going to have. We typically say that it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. You can see that visually here with these barrels behind you. That large barrel is about 40 gallons. And if we filled that large one up and cooked it all day long, we'd only have enough syrup to fill that small keg there. That's all we get out of the deal. That's why I have to continually spoon over into this finish section, because if I started out at this level here, and I only retrieved 1/40th of that, there wouldn't be enough to take off at one time. It wouldn't be worth filtering. So I'll continually fill this up until I get a high enough concentration. It's all still evaporating, but it'll continue to concentrate in that finished section.
So is that kind of a judgment call on the maker's part, or is it a temperature or time?
Well, that's a very good question. Obviously, I can't tell just by color alone. I actually have a device that tells me when it's finished. It's called a hydrometer. What I'll do is I'll fill this cup here. And this measures the specific gravity, or the density of the syrup. Kind of looks like a fishing bobber, doesn't it? Yep. Well, when this is finished product, it acts like a fishing bobber too. It'll float. There's a red line on there at 32 on the bomb scale, and that tells me when it's done. So we're going to go from the 3% sugar that my sap has. After it's done cooking with the right density, it's at 66% sugar.
Wow.
Very sweet. The back door's for me only. That's where I do my special stuff. Actually, that's where I do all my filtering. down in the dirt, aren't they? Sometimes some of the sand and minerals, good minerals too, come up along with the sap into the tree. The tree needs minerals as well. We call this sugar sand, and that's why we filter it so many times. Because if we didn't, it'd be like eating pancakes again. Do you know what the real job for the sap is? The real job is to go to the top of the tree. And later on in the season, when it gets warm, the sap will go to the top and it'll stay up there and it starts to form the buds and the leaves. Photosynthesis will take over.
So you have to wait?
We have to wait till next year. At that point, yep, we just have this very small window. It's usually from mid-February till the end of March.